All right. Happy Friday. It is March 5th, 2021. Glenn Stein, Realty Executives in the Villages, broker owner for Realty Executives in the Villages, also Realty Executives Mid Florida and Ocala. Hope you're doing well. And typically, I'm giving you an update as to what's going on in the real estate market, not only give you a little bit of a macro look, not only nationwide and Florida and the Villages. And there's a lot of things going on in real estate right now. I think one of the things I'm also, I also coach agents around the country, right? That's something I do, and I coach my own folks as well. Here, agents that are within realtors that are within my own company here locally in Florida. And one of the things I see is that I don't think we're doing as an industry, we don't do a good enough job describing what's really going on. Like I see a lot of things, some social media posts and some news that says, okay, inventory is at its lowest point. Properties are getting multiple offers and things are on fire and listings are selling fast and all of that. But there's no real description as to what's going on. There's no real education. So in other words, the public, if you're not in the real estate business, if you're not in it every single day, just like I wouldn't know anything that's going on with, IT or education as much, even though I do have children, I wouldn't know as much as somebody that's a principal or on the school board or, their head of IT or whatever of some company. I think we need to do a better job educating. And that's why I'm doing these modules, pretty much trying to do that every Friday afternoon. Right now it's 5:07 Eastern. So if you're watching this, you may be, there's some followers here locally, but a lot of followers are somewhere else, could be across the country, up north. And, obviously tough winter for all of you guys up north. And that's kind of typical, right? We're still not out of the woods yet as far as winter goes, even though it's pretty warm and sunny here in Florida. I'm looking out the window, couple of clouds in the sky. But I think the big thing is that I'd like to educate people. And if you have questions about the marketplace, just call me, or you can email me as well at glstein69@gmail, or you can visit our site. Obviously, it's on the screen, buysellthevillages.com. You can search for a lot of different areas within Florida on that site. But also you can call me, text me, 352-572-3796, 352-572-3796. So I wanted to share with you the numbers for this week. What are we really looking at numbers wise, the last 7-day numbers for MLS? Obviously here in the Villages you have, you do have there is a difference between realtor and agent, realtor and agents that work for the developer, VLS, Villages, the developer. They're licensed in the state of Florida, but they are not realtors. They don't have to abide by the same code of ethics that we do, being realtors. And there's, probably I think it is the only community in the country that it's pretty much two different MLS systems, and theirs is not an MLS, but it's two different set of inventory lists, right? So they have their own set, we have our own set. And we don't cross over, they don't cross over. It's odd, unusual, but necessary whenever you're in our area, that you really need an agent and you need a realtor. But that's not what this conversation is about. If you have questions about that, just give me a call over the weekend, 352-572-3796. So Market Watch, I'm looking at that right now. I'm looking at the Market Watch numbers, and the numbers are indicating, we've got 40 new listings on the marketplace, 40 new listings in the last 7 days, right? So it's risen a little bit. I pay attention to the numbers every couple of days, and the 7-day numbers a couple of days ago were in the mid 30s, 35 to 39. We've got one more listing, new listings, 7-day numbers, 40 new listings. Price increases 5, price decreases, which has been a really interesting dynamic. Something we've seen over the last, it's almost been all year. Like we've seen a lot of price decreases, which at first blush would say, all these price decreases, the market is declining and is more of a buyer's market. So it's a little bit of a paradox where we're seeing a tighter inventory marketplace, yet we're seeing price decreases. So it's interesting to see. I think, people are starting out still too high and they're lowering the price. So 47 price decreases, sold properties 78, which means closed the last 7 days. We've seen, and very unusual because this is the beginning of March. We will see a record number of March closings. It's not atypical to see a lot of closings in March, is my point, but it's the beginning of March and not the end of March. Most of the closings typically will happen at the end of a particular month, but already, we're only 5 days in and we've seen 70 plus listings get closed in the villages. MLS, that is a lot. We're really setting records every single month as far as how many listings are going under contract and then closing. So record numbers every single week. We had 3 expired listings, right? Some listings that maybe they were priced so high that they didn't sell. And then 75 under contract. 3 or 4 days ago was 79, so a little bit less, but still the gap between new listings, 40, and under contract, 75. That's a 35 listing decrease, okay? That is a pretty big number. Now, the other thing I want to pull up, there's another number. I'm going to do this live, so bear with me. And if you have questions, just put your questions in the chat or just call me. I've given you my number. You can also connect with us on our website that you're seeing there. I want to do a quick search as to how many properties are currently active on the market, okay? How many are active on the market? So let me pull that up. It's going to be a quick number currently on the market. So we're seeing 252 homes on the market right now when I put in the search the villages. And that's going to be about 95% of the villages. It's not the complete number, but 252 is pretty darn close. 252 tells us, if we'd have done the search, and I think we did do the search back in probably July or towards the third quarter of last year, 427, I believe, was the high as far as inventory. If we do the quick math, you're talking about 150, about 175 home difference. We do the quick math, 175, 427, and I'm going to pull out a calculator on my phone. We no longer have calculators anymore, right? 175 divided by 425. That's a 41%, 40 to 41% difference in inventory over pretty much a 6 to 8 month time frame. That is a massive, massive deal. You're talking about a 40% decrease inventory wise. So really incredible. So Rock's got a question. What is the most popular month to buy a house? What we've seen over the trends over the last, and we've been in this marketplace for the last 15 years, the most popular, and so you have to, that's kind of it's not a complicated question, but I'm going to clarify. The most popular months to close on a house has typically been March, okay, which we're seeing, and typically either June or July, which is you'd be surprised, right? Like most people think, what, summertime usually isn't it a seasonal marketplace? And not really. So most of the time there's usually a month in the middle of summer, and February is usually a busy time. April's busy. March is usually the busiest, and that's what we're seeing. But this is going to be the busiest of the busiest. Like we've never seen what we're seeing here, but we've never seen anything like this around the country. And I'm really familiar with what's going on around the country, except for places like New York City, right? Manhattan and Brooklyn. Pretty much anywhere else that you go to, the inventory is completely low. You're talking about maybe 2 to 3 weeks to maybe a month and a half supply of homes on the marketplace. Right now, we're pretty much, I think we're right on pace right now to see 1 month supply of homes. So inventory being super tight. But going back to your question, Rock's question on when's the most popular time to buy a home, that means that people are looking, the viewings, the showings are going to be at a peak, typically February and or in May and June. What I mean by that is that, in order for March to be the busiest month as far as closings, it means most people are looking and viewing properties in February, which also, and that's what we saw. But now we need to pay attention to this, okay? If typically March is the most popular month to close here in our marketplace, right? Every market's different. That means that February showings have to be at a record pace. That means that February under contracts need to be at a record pace because March being the busy month to close. Now, what we're seeing is every single week, pretty much for the last 2 to 3 weeks, have been 70 something properties going under contract in a 7-day span. That means that showings are still at a very high pace. That means that April, end of March, April is going to be super strong as well. So we're probably going to see a record year this year. Interest rates did go up. We haven't seen too much of that being a major factor just yet. We'll have to stay tuned for that. But look, if you have questions, you know how to find me, 352-572-3796. If you're looking for the best realtor, the best agent, we're the best company. We're actually the #1 company in MLS side, right? We've got about 20 year to date, about 26.5% of the market share here versus 15% the second place company in the market. But if you're looking for the best agent, the best realtor, just let me know. We'll find that for you for sure. So with that, happy Friday, everybody. Happy March, and we'll see you soon. Okay, take care.